So what's going on, guys? My name is MrDalekJD and welcome to this Cold War Zombies Outbreak Ultimate Guide. Outbreak is a brand new free-to-play open world zombies mode with drastically different gameplay and mechanics to the normal round-based zombies. But after watching this video, you should have a great idea on how to approach this mode, the best tactics so you can get geared up as early as possible, and show you how to complete every main and side objective in this mode. Now, this mode can be played in solo or up to 4-player co-op, and the difficulty of the mode scales depending on how many players there are in the game. So as we jump into things, if you find this video useful, I'd love to know in the comments below. Feel free to also let me know by leaving a thumbs up. And if you enjoy this type of content and want to see more, then definitely subscribe. But just before jumping in, you want to make sure that you have an appropriate loadout. Now, just like in round-based zombies in Cold War, shotguns seem to be the most powerful weapons. So I advise going in with the Gallo or the Hauer 77. Personally, I go with the Hauer, as well as E for Shroud Tier 3 for that extra damage output when I need it in a pinch. But if you prefer a different field upgrade or want to complement another in co-op with your friends, then definitely choose what suits you best. Yes, this is open world. This is pretty much as open as it can be. Everywhere you go, zombies are roaming around, as you can see there, like these lovely manglers and zombies. And yeah, the more you move around, the more the zombies will respawn and get closer to you. You can see that we've got a lot of familiar mechanics like the mystery box. There's also a mini map, which is going to be very important, where we can see a bunch of things that we can use, such as vehicles. There's some side quests. There's also the main objective marker. And yeah, the first things you want to notice is that earning points in this mode is very different to traditional zombies. You spawn in with 1,000 points. And as you see here, we'll quickly show you with zombies, you only get about 35 points. That's with a knife. If you shoot with just your weapon, you only get 25. So it does take a lot longer to build up points than you're probably used to in regular zombies. So please bear that in mind. You won't be able to progress and get everything you normally would in a game of zombies as quickly, so just bear that in mind. But looking at this overworld map, we can see we have Pack-a-Punch, buildables, everything all in the center of this map, which we're on at the moment, which is Ganova. But you can see there's some interesting side quest objectives that I want you guys to pay attention to and basically go to every single game you play, especially when you first jump in, because before you do this objective, it pays to go ahead, basically go and search around. Now, looking at my map, I have 2 side objectives right now. I have this one near the top right, which looks like a T with a box underneath it. And there's also a dragon head in the bottom right. So before we actually go ahead and start doing our main objective, we're going to go and start talking about side objectives. Now, there are 3 that you can get at the moment. The one that we're heading towards now, the dragon head, and then also one that looks like 3 skulls. This one we're going to here is a awesome one. It is a golden legendary locked chest. Confront the dark ether to prove you're worthy. So if we open it, it's going to go ahead and spawn in a load of zombies. As you can see, we've got a lot of normal zombies and boss zombies. But since this is the first round, or first, I should say, objective wave, this is going to be a little easier than it can be in the later objectives. But don't get me wrong, this is still a massive challenge to do straight off the bat. So I definitely make sure that you've dropped in with a good loadout weapon. As you see, we wiped out those Tempests pretty quick, so now it's just a matter of taking out the rest of these zombies before we will get access to opening up the crate. And there we go, just like that. We can now open the golden loot chest, and let's see what it's going to give us. So we got ourselves a guaranteed full power. We've got armor. We've got ourselves a tier 4 shotgun straight away and a tomahawk equipment, which is pretty good. Going around the world as well, you will find loot chests of various size. This is a large one, so let's see what we've got in here. You don't really get much apart from equipment and salvage, but that's definitely going to be useful because you'll want to have a lot of salvage as soon as you possibly can get it. Now, around the map, there are vehicles as well, which are also marked on your map, so you know where to go to get these. And as great as they are for taking down zombies, you got to be careful because every time you do take down a zombie with it, it actually damages the vehicle. But just before we go for the dragon head, as you can see on this building, I have a new objective which won't appear on your mini map, and this looks like a orb of sorts. And this is part of a side Easter egg to get yourself a potential perk, if not a legendary reward, and it's really simple to do. And as you can see, look at it. It's just chilling there on that rooftop there. Now, this can spawn anywhere at any time, so you just got to kind of be wary on the lookout. Of course, we can mantle up rooftops, no problem. But yeah, I needed to use a car in order to do that time. We see the orb here. All you want to do is either knife it or just shoot it a few times, and it's going to drop a load of essence, and then it's going to start moving. But you got to move with this thing. If you are too far away from this thing, it's going to just suddenly disappear. So you don't want to lose track of it. It always moves in this particular angle. So if it's going in this direction, you'll know that if you follow that, you will eventually find it again. As you can see, we've got quite a fair amount of points from it, and we can go ahead and do the same thing again, where it drops a load. As you can see, it dropped about 1,200 points there. It's ended on a really high up area, so let's go ahead and take this out. And boom, we got ourselves a load of points from that. And as you can see, we got what looks like a score streak as well. At the very least, it will guarantee you a, pretty good score streak and a load of points. And that objective can appear anywhere. So I definitely recommend you just search around the map and listen out for that laughter, because you'll get yourself some very easy points early on that way. But now let's go ahead and complete our third objective, our second obvious main objective on the mini-map, which is the dragon heads. And it's going to be this machine you can see right here. It's on the big map and in the mini-map, and it looks like a dragon head. So if we go up to the front of it, it says start feeding time for 500 points. And when you do this, it will spawn a little circle like ring of fire. And basically any zombies that become like sort of infused with this pinky purple essence are ready to be killed. And unlike the Drax dragon heads, because this is identical to that, this thing can eat as many zombies in a row at the exact moment as it can. So you don't have to worry about killing one zombie at a time. You can kill as many as you want at the exact same time. It will eat them all up, as you can see. Once you've filled up enough souls, the ring will disappear. The dragon will breathe a load of fire, go back into the machine, and then just fly away. And in its place will be a loot chest for us to open. It's a golden loot chest, so let's open it and let's see what we got. So in here, I got an epic org, and I also got a full power. As you can see, before we've even started the objective, we already have ourselves 7,000 points. And depending on the objective, we could have also gotten a free perk as well. And on your mini-map, as well as around the world, there are these launch pads, which can launch you straight towards the objective, and they only cost 500 points. Now, what's cool is when you're launched up in here, you can see that floating in the sky are some points as well, some essence that you can pick up. Now, I think oh my God, I've just about fluffed it. But if you follow the pathway of all these different essences lying around with your parachute, you'll be able to get your points back and then some, which is a really nice, cool little Easter egg. As you can see, I've dropped down here where I have the Pack-a-Punch machine on this particular map, just chilling right here. So I can go ahead and Pack-a-Punch my gun before I've even done the first objective, before we even begin. Of course, you don't have to do that, but I'm just showing you that you can go ahead and Pack-a-Punch, and you can also go over to where you can see here to get yourself some armor if you want to. There's also wall buys, which are marked as the pistol icon on your mini-map, and also in this particular area here, you've got yourself a arsenal machine for some armor. And then these mini-map markers you can see here is the trial machine as well as perks. So it's going to be good to do this, because I imagine this first objective is going to give us some specials or elite AI. But as you can see here, we've got the Wonder Fizz machine. Inside here, it's marked by the question mark on the map, depending on what map you're playing Outbreak on to start with. And we are ready to begin our first objective, which is awesome. And this particular one is a holdout one, where we're actually going to be teleported into the dark ether, into a really, really small room. It feels very Nocta and Totem. Here we go. We are in the rural houses where we are in the dark ether, and we have to survive here for 3 minutes 40. Fairly standard stuff. We completed that, and that is our first objective of this particular Outbreak game, and your first Outbreak game done. At this point, your objective will be complete, and there will be a beacon located, which will be labeled as the anomaly, which you make your way to. And then you're going to be presented with 2 choices once you reveal this. It's going to spawn in a load of awesome stuff, such as the buildable table. We've got the arsenal machine. We have the Wonder Fizz, and of course, we also have the Pack-a-Punch machine just chilling back here. You're free to do whatever you want here. Like, you can Pack-a-Punch if you didn't Pack-a-Punch beforehand. You can grab perks if you want. When you go up to this beacon, though, you're given a choice if you want to call in an exfil or warp, which will take you to the next region, and it will bring on the next objective, which will increase the difficulty, but it will keep the game going. So we're going to go ahead and do that, because I want to show you all 5 objectives in this game mode. So as we teleport in, it says the world grows harder, and a number gets added to our objective number. So my next objective is a defend objective. But again, we're going to play this the exact same as last time. We're going to be looking around the map for the side objectives that we can complete, which is going to make our game easier. And straight away, we're getting the other side objective that I didn't get in the first world, which is this skull icon. This can appear on all 3 maps, but here it looks like it's going to be in this part of the map. So we'll play the recording and you'll see that there'll be a new beam in the sky where a load of new bosses will have spawned in. And depending on what primary objective number you're on, it's obviously going to increase in difficulty and the scale of the different enemies that you're going to be coming up against. As you can see on our mini map, we have that same icon and we can see these, bosses just scurrying along. So we have a Panzer and we have some Hellhounds. We took out the Panzer incredibly quickly thanks to our shotgun just being so powerful. But at the end of all of that and all the Hellhounds, you can see that it's dropped us a free perk, which is Deadshot Daiquiri. And we've also gotten some armor and some equipment. For a minute's work, definitely worth it. Our other objective is the same golden chest that we got in the previous round. Here we go. As we approach you, we can see the light beaming down on it. Also see the obvious prompt on the mini map. So now we just got to go ahead and take out all of these zombies. Let's see what it's going to give us. So we got a combat bow, got an epic sigma, and we got a full power. So for this objective, we have a specimen head that we got to take into a machine. And this can vary depending on what map you're doing this particular objective on, because sometimes it can be in a very enclosed space. But in this example, we've got it in a pretty open space, which is pretty cool. Now, this is fairly basic. It's just your, defend. If zombies get too close to this, they're going to start attacking it and it's got a health bar, but you should be all good. Fairly simple stuff. Once you've survived and defended this thing for long enough, it'll be done. You'll be given 5,000 points, which is awesome. And that'll be that second objective complete. And making your way to that anomaly so we can go to the next objective, you can do it at your own pace. You can go straight away. You can, loot around a little bit, see if you can find some, essence lying around, if you can find some loot crates with salvage in. I definitely recommend just having a little look around on your way to the anomaly, just so, you have some extra salvage in your back pocket, because you'll need it in the next few objectives. When you want to upgrade your guns through to the highest tiers, you're going to need salvage for that. And also, we've got enough that we can actually start getting our armor upgraded. And look at that. That pesky little orb is back. So we might as well follow it again, see where it will take us. And revealing our second beacon gives us access again to Pack-a-Punch and Wonder Fizz and everything right around here. But as you can see, I've got enough points now that I can Pack-a-Punch twice, which is awesome. Means I'm going to be putting in a lot of firepower going into this third objective. Let's go ahead and warp for the third time so we get our third and final region. Now we've got to our third objective and area. It starts to get a little bit more difficult. It's obviously still going to be pretty easy with our weapons, but the level of bosses that are going to spawn is going to be a little bit more. The same again, we're going to go ahead and look at our mini map. We can see that there are 2 marked world events that we can do, which is going to be, of course, killing some bosses to get a free perk and also the golden chest. Same as before, we just find a body with a message that we can play and look up in the sky and we see all these zombies flowing down over there. Again, looking on our mini map, we can see where they spawned in as they're the same skull icon. There they are. They're all just roaming there. You know what? Let's cruise missile them. We've done a little bit of damage to them, but it didn't completely get rid of them, but it's fine. Got Bukak the Hunter and Barbaroga the Mad. And you can see they are significantly more stronger than your typical average mangler. There we go. Killing all of them gives us our random perk. And here is our locked golden chest. So let's activate it and let's start wiping out all the zombies. And there we go. Taking all the enemies out, and that was pretty difficult. I'm not going to lie. That did get a bit scary. Got a full power. We got ourselves a Krig. And we got Deadshot Daiquiri, which we've already got. But there we go. Just shows you can get another perk from the golden loot chest. So our next objective is an escort objective where we have this cute little monkey in this little rover that we have to stand near while it moves and gets to an appropriate ether orb so it can be teleported into the dark ether. Now, depending when you do this, if it's your first objective or your third like it is here, this will get progressively more difficult. And I don't mean in just terms of the amounts of zombies that are going to be spawning around, but also just the length of this objective. As you can see, the portal that this has to go through is, not too far away from us. As you can see, it went through, but it wasn't good enough. So it's transported somewhere else and we got to go back to it. And we've got to repeat this 2 more times. So 3 times in total. And there we go. Got 5 grand for that. And as you can see, that is all regions done at this point. If you go to the beacon and you continue on, it's just going to go and put you back to one of the 3 previous regions, but it's going to get more harder and there'll be another objective. Grab my armor, and all we got really left now is just to get our weapon to tier 3. And we're back where we started. And as you see, we've got the dragon head and we've got the chest. But when you get this far in, it's optional at this point if you want to do those. Unless you haven't already got all your perks and you want to get some free perks or a chance at getting, you know, the wonder weapons dropped. You can definitely do those side Easter eggs, but it's entirely up to you what you want to do. There's also crystals around the map. And as you can see there, I just got speed cola out of one of them. So if you see crystals, definitely don't ignore them. What the heck? I just got stamina up out of it as well. Oh my god. Now our next objective is we need to go ahead and harvest 2 Ethereum crystal canisters. And as you can see, these are, you know, spread fairly wide around the map. And for solo, it's obviously going to be quite difficult, but I have a really easy method to do this. So we've got Purge A and we've got Purge B. Now, when you carry these canisters, which you'll see in a moment, you actually move incredibly slow. So a great tactic is instead to get a vehicle, drive over to these areas, pick up the crystal, and then drive with it back to the rocket. We need to go ahead and purge it, and then picking it up, as you'll see, means that we are a lot slower than we are usually as it's on our back. We get a brand new field upgrade, which we can use by L1 and R1 on PlayStation, and it lets out a massive burst of energy. Obviously, you are very slow, and it's not ideal to carry it, so if we get in the car, we can drive with this thing, but as you can see, our car does start taking damage, so we need to be fairly quickly while carrying this to get this back in time. There's also the chance that we might have to ditch this vehicle and find a different one for this other canister. But as you can see, you got to hold your interact to load the canister in, and that one's done. Let's go ahead, grab the canister, pick it up, use the field upgrade, and let's get out of here. In co-op, this will obviously be a much easier step since you'll be able to have your friends, you know, defend you whilst you're carrying this. Using a car just makes this so much easier. With that done, the rocket is going to launch, and that is our objective complete. In true fashion, the orb has reappeared back on that roof if we wanted to get some upgrades. You know what? We might... I don't know. I couldn't help myself. Let's get some points. Let's see what this thing could give us. When you're doing it on objective 4 onwards, you can definitely feel that this thing takes a lot more bullets in order to move. And there we go. We got a load of points from that thing, and we got a cruise missile. And at this point, you definitely want to pack a punch, so you've got tier 3 PAP. If you want to get an alternate ammo type as well on that, definitely advise it. But now let's show you the 5th and final objective you can get in Outbreak before you'll start getting a repeat of the same ones. From objective 5 onwards, you will notice that a majority of the zombies that are roaming will now start to sprint. And I mean like round 55 onwards super sprinters. So just be wary that at this point of the game onwards, it's going to start to get very, very hectic. But I think what you will notice the most is just the amount of different dogs that will spawn, like seemingly all the time now, that it gets a little bit crazy. This final objective is using a satellite, which is going to find high value targets, which are going to be elite zombies, pretty much like the Panzers, and you're going to have to take them out. But there's going to be a lot of zombies as well. And especially on this number of objective, it's going to start feeling really, really difficult. So you can see it's coming through now from that little beam. We've got to eliminate it. If you get this on the earlier objective numbers, it's going to feel really easy, especially when you have this shotgun set up. You got to worry about the Panzers, and you got to worry about all the other zombies as well. And once you've damaged it a certain amount, it's going to go ahead and actually teleport somewhere. As you can see here, it's actually gone backwards in the map, and it's going to spawn in another wave of undead. So you just got to be very, very careful here. And there we go. Taken that boy down. So we'll grab that nuke. Let's see what he got. Got a napalm strike, and that's about it. So at this point, you should have pretty much all the perks. Your guns should be, you know, pack-a-punched all the way. You should have enough points now to do that. And the only other thing you'll want to work on now is just getting the wonder weapons, which can drop from killing different boss zombies, completing trials, or getting incredibly lucky finding them from Ethereum crystals lying around the map. If you manage to find wonder weapons like the ray gun and you manage to upgrade that all the way to tier 3 pack-a-punch, then you're going to have an absolutely amazing time because it's the most powerful weapon in this mode. Not only can you get the ray gun, but you can also get the Ray K84 as well as the Dye AI shockwave. But as you continue warping into higher difficulty numbers and completing the objective, your tier 3, tier 5 loadout weapon will still be viable, but you'll definitely want to have a wonder weapon in your back pocket. And at this point in my ultimate guide, it is now up to you how you want to continue playing. Do you want to continue warping, trying to get as many level difficulties complete as possible, or do you want to stop at the difficulty level you're on so you can leave with all the crystals you earn and then also earn some on top for exfilling? The choice is completely up to you. The higher the risk, of course, the higher the rewards will be if you manage to complete those higher difficulty objectives. Overall, I hope this guide helped you learn a lot more about how to play Outbreak and approach it on your next game. If you learned something, you enjoyed this video, it'd be awesome if you could click the like button on this video. It really helps this video get out there in the YouTube algorithm so more people can see this. And if you enjoy tutorials like this and you want to see a load more, I've got them on my channel, so be sure to subscribe with the bell tick so you don't miss out. I'll drop some more helpful guides for Outbreak in this video's description, so go ahead and click those if you need the help. But thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. If you love zombie posters, I have an incredible Cold War Zombies poster that's just launched that you can grab via the link in the description. It is a full-on movie-sized poster, double-ended, with Park in D Machina and Samantha Maxis in the Dark Ether. You can have it up whichever way you want. It looks fantastic. If you want to grab one, there is a link in the description, along with my Cold War Zombies perk poster pack that now contains the Tombstone perk as well. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon.